That may be something that, you know, that the grant program, whether you apply for it or they apply for it, may be useful. Because if you do that and you're eligible for different grants, you may be able to refinance it at a lower rate, also helping the ratepayers in your district.
Is that not a part of your comprehensive plan, Jim?
Yeah, it's in there somewhere, but I'm not, I wasn't gonna bring that because I don't think it's current. And, you know, it really needs to be a little more current than that. This plan was done a few years ago.
But you updated us.
But the bond that you have, the federally backed bond that you have, I think that's a lower interest.
Yeah, I don't think
It's
it's
zero.
I was thinking,
Zero.
I think it was a point something.
Yeah,
And the other
we're-
two were four.
I was thinking
we had the
around,
short-term one that was at 4%, but this long-term
I
one,
was thinking it was almost a point zero
it's
something.
like zero, yeah. I don't think
Almost
we're
free.
gonna
I
do
can
that
get, I
rate.
can get lower than that.
No.
Well, yes, you're right, the long-term one was.
I think it's almost cash just about, so that's why I thought maybe this money may be better used.
Do you,
But there is an account for maintenance, and there can be major cost issues with a water system, like a pump failure or something like
Sure.
that. And it would not be unreasonable, I can't imagine any auditor having an issue with setting up a reserve account for maintenance of the water system. But quite apart from the bonding.
Right.
you'd have to have one at the village level, and then when you create it for the town, it'd be transferred to the town.
Right, but I can tell you, 2 years ago, when I was on board previously, I looked at, I had county clerks, our assessed evaluation of the village had gone down
Right.
double digits over a matter of a couple of years. Because my argument was the county exec was pulling our funds away
Yeah.
under sales tax basis, and our evaluation was going down in the village, which puts us in a big issue, because our tax base is getting slower, and they were cutting our revenue from the county, so we were having financial problems, and that's when it started, I think the county exec's trying to make himself look good. Sorry. Went out of office, so.
It's an election year.
Are there other grants that you have outstanding with the state or anybody else besides the USDA loan?
Open ones.
You had a Department of State grant that you applied for, correct?
Yes.
And you're having challenges getting paid back from the state?
We've had, yeah, issues, as in zero, but,
So, can you elaborate a little bit? Was there, the contract with the state's been signed, correct?
correct.
Do you know when it was signed?
Shirley can speak more directly to that.
I don't know the date.
Like
But it's
approximately?
been months.
Okay, okay. Because there's usually a lag between when the contract is signed, and then there's about a 45-day to 60-day at the most period for reimbursement, depending on when it got submitted.
They haven't signed it yet.
They haven't signed it or sent it?
They haven't signed it.
Oh, okay.
That's why you haven't got paid
That's why
back.
you haven't got paid,
And
okay.
At first, they were sure we hadn't signed it, and I had a phone conversation with Paul, the people at the grant. I can't remember his name now, but I have it written down. And when he looked at it, he said, oh, she did sign it, and it's been signed for
Okay.
months. And so he was going to sign it, and that's the last we heard. It was on
I can,
We can call for
I can
it.
make a phone call for you, just to see where it's getting hung up. Because sometimes that online gateway program is just a mess. So, I'll just check.
We appreciate it, but unfortunately, the county stepped in and filled the shortfall.
Right.
Right,
Until
just
then,
look at the money.
Yeah,
I
I'd like
just-
to have it coming, just so.
Yeah, absolutely.
And speaking to the comprehensive plan, get a copy of that, and a lot of work went into it. Jim spent countless hours compiling that, and there's a lot of very pertinent information about the village and where it is, and where we perceived it to be as to their guidelines. And we'll get a copy of that to you post haste, so you can look at that. I'm sure there's some information there. for you to share.
Absolutely.
Has the town done any work on a comprehensive plan?
No, not so to speak, but we've been trying to do everything we can to get heads up on this stuff, because it's all new to us, you know, and we're trying to get information from the county water boards and all these places, and, you know, to move forward and try to do things right, but it's just tough.
Absolutely.
And I wanna thank you guys for letting us know how many grants there are out there, 'cause
There are
we
loads.
don't have a clue. And like you said before, if we can get money from the state and they're willing to give it to us.
Most times, outside of this program, it's a very competitive process, but as I mentioned before, we'll be happy to sit with you, even if you can come a little earlier at the October 4th meeting, just to chat about all your needs, both in the village and the town, and give you a listing of different opportunities that you look forward to in your 2019-20. We've secured, just so you guys know, about $213 million now since 2000 for our clients. It's a core discipline of what we do. A combination of mixing the engineering, the planning, the government operations with the implementation dollars. And that's the business model that we've had, and it's really worked for our clients. So that's why when we hear little things like talking about the state of archives, records management grants, we asked about the court grant, about housing grants, about the OGE, the shared services grants, it's all part of the services that we have.
And getting a copy of the comprehensive plan will really help in trying to help identify those projects and grants and funding sources. For example, if the town takes ownership of one of the former village parks, that change of ownership becomes an eligible match for the parks program. So it becomes 50-50.
For 1 year.
In the first year you acquire it. So that would be one that you'd want to start looking at right away and start looking at some park improvements.
That's key. It used to be 3 years. Up to about 3 or 4 years ago, you had 3 years from the ownership. It's the value of that property can be used as a match. So when you're doing your accounting process and understanding what the value is of things you now have within the assets of the new government structure, that value is the match. So if it's a 50-50 match, and it's 50 grand, well, now you can get another $50,000 to do the improvements.
The grant program requires 2 appraisals, so it could be something that comes out of the Craig grant, just another component to think about.
And we're not pushing you to apply for that application, it's just it's there. So it may be something you can do.
Let me ask you a question about youth sports programs that the town always is donated to over the years. I don't remember if the village ever.
They do.
I just can't remember from the.
Yeah.
Right. So with that, is there any, like a grant thing there that if you're donating or contributing, I don't know what to call it, we're contributing money to the Spencer Manhattan Youth Association, which is, all the sports and programs for both Spencer and Manhattan, at the youth level. Is there grants in there because that we could apply for if we're donating money to that aspect,
It's
anything?
something we can keep an eye on. There are youth recreation foundation type grants that pop up. They're not in the traditional ones that you see, but now that it's on the radar, it's something that we can kind of track.
I guess why I asked that, because we were talking about, utilizing another community that wasn't in your county, we were talking about the billing and all that for the water, you were giving us some ideas on that.
On the shared service, right.
So I know that over the years Spencer had donated, they allotted money in their budget to give to the youth programs, we do the same thing. And I did sit on the youth board years ago, and there were times when the money, money was tight and they had to cut the budgets and from both municipalities and then the youth stuff. So I just kinda had me thinking there a little bit, and I just wanted to throw that out there, that if there's something there that could help in that way, we would be looking at.
A lot of those are nonprofit youth boards,
Right.
so they're eligible for things that the town or the village is not eligible for, so we can kind of keep them on the
Right.
radar as they pop
Yeah,
up.
just throwing it out there.
But the reason why we asked earlier about different opportunities, we look at sidewalk grants, you look at road infrastructure, you look at water improvement projects. And once you do the engineering assessment of the water district, you can apply for New York water monies. We asked about the income qualifications because there's community development block grant funds that are available. Each grant has its own different requirements for how you become eligible, how you become competitive. And then what we have to work with you on with that concept is the difference between fundable and eligible. They have grant programs with a lot of things they say are eligible to win, but really you're not going to win. It's not fundable as a project that we recommend that you spend time and resources on. Those are all pieces of the puzzle.
Right.
And I'll be happy to share articles and presentations that we've given to towns and ICON about it. I'm giving a presentation at Nikon DPW conference in Lake Placid in October on how to fund infrastructure, how to find grants to fund your infrastructure projects. And a lot of what we spoke about today, environmental facilities, USDA, the shared services with the water meter reading, that's all part of what we'll be presenting there.
So,
So if I may interject.
Yeah.
For our next joint meeting and location, I'd like a chance for us to check our calendars and maybe try to get with Barb and see when she's gonna be back in town, and so we can have maximum participation.
yeah, well, so basically, we're just calling a workshop to keep moving forward, because we're gonna have a meeting on the 27th, it's just a workshop,
Right.
so, but you're invited. And then October 4th is when these people come back again. And then I think it's October 25th.
So, you know,
Mayor,
we
we
got
can have
to
a regular meeting on the 11th.
tag a joint meeting at the end of one of your workshops again, is that what your thoughts were, or?
Yeah, I think it'd be a great idea.
No, I mean, you can join the workshop.
Yeah.
We don't care if you're here during the workshop.
I was gonna say this, I see, if, I like what we did tonight, and I think if we tag one on to one of the end of the workshops, but I also was gonna say, I'm encouraging the public, please come to the workshops. You know, you elected as officials, we're here to serve you, but in this process, we need everybody's input and thoughts. There's a lot of, you know, we live here our whole lives, there's a lot of smart, intelligent people who know the history of things and how things went, and we're gonna need all that input to move forward. And so please, come to the workshops, encourage you, it's gonna be helpful to us.
And Mayor, we're gonna be in Ithaca anyway, on October 4th, for our lunch meeting, so we asked to have, and we're here all afternoon, we can be available anytime. If the 5 to 7 doesn't work for you guys, we can be here earlier and work with you in your village hall and go back to the town.
We'll target the 4th because of you being here, and hope that we can get everybody together for
One of the things we said we're gonna prepare for the 4th is a spreadsheet of all the items that we know have to be done based upon your dissolution plan, and identify whether or not they have to be done before December, or if they are in that 2-year period afterward, to help facilitate kind of the urgency of the items. So we'll make sure you have that in advance as well.
Looks like Brian's gonna make it back.
No, don't look like he's gonna make it, but he done a good part of what he
Yeah,
was.
oh,
I think he was gonna try to
Oh,
get through
boy.
something bad.
He also had a
Yeah.
But he
county meeting.
said he had a meeting
You never know what happens to those county meetings.
Yeah.
Oh, sure.
town meeting.
Oh, they're video.
No, so we already put the dates for the next one is the 27th, I guess. And so, motion to adjourn, I guess. Harold, huh?
We're gonna do the next one on the 4th.
No, it's this month, September 20,
Workshop, I mean, the meetings with the boards.
all of the meetings that we have, you're welcome to come. So the 27th, you're welcome to come. The October 4th meeting is when these people are here, and you're more than welcome to come to that. And then on October 25th, you're still welcome.
What were
And
we saying?
what we mentioned is on the 27th, when you guys are meeting, we're available via telephone that night. Both of us are available for that, so we can give a conference call number if you wanted to call
Okay.
in.
Yep.
If you had any questions as you're talking back and forth, and then we'll physically be back here on the 4th. We didn't know about the 27th until today, but we can come back, we can be available on the phone for that day.
So is that what you wanna do, tag the joint meeting onto the 4th if everybody's available?
I'd like to, yeah.
Okay, I know we're inviting everybody, but I like this concept of what we're doing.
All right,
Me too. Jake, you got a second?
I would, go ahead, you get a second?
Second.
Okay. All in favor, signify by saying aye. Aye. Opposed, carried.
I just hope that you reorganize a little better so you can, Benjamin's gonna run.
Yeah, all right, we have to move the tables better.
It's a couple.
It's a cup, I was gonna say, we gotta, yeah, just go right in there.